Hi guys, it's me, Craig Yeats. Last week we met Mariella and we found out some great nutritional tips and ways to become a better and faster triathlete. If you've liked our guests and you've enjoyed Coffee with Craig, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when the next Coffee with Craig is going to come out. I was chatting to one of my financial advisors, Kelton Goertz, the other day, and I really wanted to share with you a bit of insight of what we discuss in our business about success and becoming a better business person. Kelton, so when I first met the old Kelton, you were driving around in an old beaten up Renault Sandero to the Kelton Goertz I know today, driving a fancy BMW.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. Obviously starting, 2.5, almost 3 years ago at Enriching Life. I feel like it was a lifetime ago, but since then, just the growth that I've experienced has been ridiculous. I mean, you probably remember me coming in as a super strange kid who used to... Super strange.
Arty, model,
exactly.
Comedian, actor.
The guy came from...
And are you wearing a fancy suit?
Yeah, well, it's, you got to dress to impress, as you've always taught us. And yeah, it's been very much a change, but I think a positive one. I mean, as you said, I came from the whole modeling, acting, just bohemian lifestyle kind of. And since then, it's kind of been a very big change, but I feel like it's been probably the best thing that's happened so far.
Okay, great. So there's obviously been a big shift in your mindset. Who you thought you were, the old Kelton Goertz, to who you've become today. A lot has had to change over time. So I want to chat a bit about your thermostat. We all have a thermostat where we believe we live in space and what is actually what we are meant to achieve and who we actually are. And being that person driving a Renault Sandero to now driving a BMW, it must have been a big shift in your mindset.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, I mean, funny you should mention the whole thermostat thing, because I know we've obviously had a chat about this. You kind of set yourself a bar or a standard or kind of like a category that you feel like you fit in. And I feel like in order to progress, you have to kind of break out of those sort of boxes and that story you tell yourself. I mean, you've often told me this, that I need to just get out of my own head, stop telling myself the story, change the sort of temperature on that emotional or that psychological thermostat. And I feel like, when you dress better, you feel better. When you drive a better car, you obviously feel more confident about the fact that you're driving a better car. And I think that all helps a lot with kind of your mindset and where you're at and how you sort of see yourself. But I think a lot of the work obviously has to come from sort of inside as well. You have to see yourself in that role. You have to see yourself being the person you want to be, not the person you are currently. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned from, working at Enriching Life, one of the biggest things you've taught me. It's obviously not something I've managed to perfect yet, and I don't think it's something you ever do. I think it's one of those continuous personal development things, but yeah, hopefully we just keep on going onwards and upwards and just consistently improve.
Okay, so let's go and talk a little bit about your thermostat. As you know how a thermostat works, if the room gets too warm, the air conditioners kick on to cool the room down. Likewise, if it gets too cold, the heaters turn on to warm the room back up. Why does that happen? Well, you set a temperature for the room that you feel comfortable in. Now, we all have a comfort zone where we feel comfortable living from a success point of view. And I want to talk to Kelton with regards to your comfort zone and your level of success.
So I feel like success is kind of a very personal thing based on who you are. Obviously everyone's got their idea, whether it's a house and kids, whether it's financial abundance. But I think success is not something that anyone ever achieves. It's kind of like a continuous thing. So what I actually wanted to ask you was, how do you continue along that path of success? How do you prevent that thermostat from kind of ticking back to where it was, and how do you kind of raise the temperature naturally so that becomes your new norm?
So I think that's a very interesting question. So I'm glad that you asked that. Because for me, success is really always a forward momentum, moving towards a worthy goal. And I think the only time you really feel happy is when you're working towards a specific goal. Once you hit a goal, a lot of the time people then tend to relax, take their foot off the pedal, and they enjoy their success for a period of time, which is okay, but you always want to be pushing forward. And I think that's when people are actually feeling comfortable and being happy. So I think what you have to do is you have to live a life of being uncomfortable to live a life of being comfortable.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is the only way for you to grow your thermostat is to put yourself into an uncomfortable situation. So you want to grow your thermostat of a level of success. Maybe it's a level of income or a level of wealth that you have.
Okay.
What you need to do is you need to constantly be putting yourself into the environment where there are maybe people earning more money than you are.
Okay.
You need to put yourself around some kind of asset. So maybe it's a car. You want to start spending time with friends who are driving better cars than you. So what that will do, we've often spoken about the 5 people you spend the most time with, you become like.
Okay, cool.
So you want to spend time with people that are driving nicer cars than you, because it's going to start making you feel uncomfortable, and it's going to pull you up towards that goal of a nicer car, or people that are earning more income.
So it's kind of like that thing of, being grateful, sure, for like the success you've got where you're at now, but also at the same time looking for like the next big thing, looking for the next step towards that success
so think
cycle.
of it in this way. So a lot of people become friends at school,
Yeah.
and they keep the same friends throughout their life. Most of the time, their life remains exactly the same forever.
Okay.
Almost what you want to do is you want to be constantly meeting new people that are going to be challenging you in some way.
Okay, fair enough.
So you want to challenge yourself maybe in your career, or maybe in a hobby or a sport, that you're putting yourself into an uncomfortable situation, but it has to make you learn to become a better person.
So it's kind of like that saying of your network is your net worth.
Yeah,
Kind
exactly.
of like level up your circle and you level up your life, that sort
Exactly,
of thing.
exactly.
All those sort of sayings.
So,
okay.
so it's so interesting because you want to have a really comfortable life, you need to be very uncomfortable now.
Comfortable.
To get that reward so that you can sit back one day and go like, yes, I hit my goals, I achieved what I wanted to achieve, and along the way of being uncomfortable the whole time, I was pushing my thermostat to the next level. I was raising the temperature the whole time.
Always
And
looking
when it
for the
feels
next
comfortable, you know there's something wrong and you need to make
Yeah,
a
yeah.
change again.
Okay.
You need to go somewhere else, meet new people, start a new hobby.
So it's like you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and as soon as it gets comfortable, you've got to feel uncomfortable.
You got to feel uncomfortable,
Okay, cool.
unfortunately. Cool.
Okay, cool, Craig. So I've got one more question for you. You mentioned that in order to achieve better things, you need to surround yourself with people who have the things that you want. Fancier cars, who are earning more, etc., etc. How do you get yourself though into those people's sort of social circles? If my friends aren't at that level yet currently, how do I then upgrade my social circle?
Okay, all right. So likewise, when I said I wanted you to go spend a little bit more money on your car,
Yeah.
so that you could drive a nicer car, so that when you're inside it, you feel a bit better about yourself and have that level of confidence. Sometimes to get to that next level of your thermostat, you need to spend a little bit more money.
Okay.
And that might be going and spending money on a business class ticket as opposed to an economy class ticket. Why? You're spending a bit more money and you're around people that have also spent that money to be on the airplane in that business class ticket. So now straight away, you're around people that are forcing you to level up to a higher thermostat. So to get there, you need to spend some money, and when you spend money, you're going to feel uncomfortable. And when you feel uncomfortable and you spend your own money, it makes you work a little bit harder.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
100%. So you kind of got to invest in
You're actually
growing.
investing
You're
in
investing
yourself.
in yourself, yeah.
Investing in
Okay,
yourself.
cool.
Because if I just gave you a ticket to go fly business class, you're not going to value it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're going to just sit back and watch movies.
No, fair enough.
But once you paid the money to be there, you're actually going to be like, I paid the money, I'm going to get a
I need it,
reward.
yeah.
So let me talk to the person next to me and
Okay,
feel
cool.
uncomfortable.
Perfect.
And that's going to make you level up and move that thermostat higher.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for the advice and the chat, and obviously for having me on the channel as well. It's been very cool. But
Great.
yeah, thanks so much, man.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thanks, Kelton. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Whoa! You didn't really think I was going to miss the transition, did you? So that's a wrap of Coffee with Craig this week. We got to meet Kelton Goertz, and we got to find out how to grow your thermostat. Why? Because at the end of the day, success is mainly a mental game, and you have to grow your mental side to grow your success. Do you know what I've noticed? A lot of you are watching Coffee with Craig, but you haven't hit subscribe. Please go hit subscribe. YouTube loves it when you hit subscribe, and more so when you hit that notification bell so you can find out when the next Coffee with Craig episode comes out, because you don't want to miss the next one.